I am on the Benelli out here to practice for our endurance race coming up in a few weeks. I have not ridden a mini bike in several weeks at this point. Need to warm the tires up, get up to speed, do a few laps without crashing. I'm not going to endurance race this bike, I'm going to ride Cole's bike, but they're both Benellis, so this is better than practicing on a mini GP bike. Looks like they mowed the grass out here. Jessie has my lap timer on the other bike. I forgot to check the tire pressure. I have no idea what I'm running. If anything, it's not high. Okay, wait for Jessie to come by and see what the bike's doing. I'm wondering about the bike setup. The suspension is just where we put it, where I put it. I have no idea how well it does or doesn't steer. So Jessie is riding it around, and we'll see what his feedback is at the end of the session. Boy, that bike looks really skinny. That rear tire looks really skinny. It's a 120 stock width. The height is a little bit taller. I'm not sure how he feels on corner entry there. Shift points. So he's... yeah. Looks like he had a transmission problem there. I saw him shift once up and then once back down. Oh, probably GP shift. He's used to GP shift. I think he shifted it the wrong way. And it's going in. Any transmission problem? I saw the shift on that.
It went full false neutral.
Oh, really?
Down, and it didn't even say anything on the gear indicator.
Yeah.
And then I heard it go click click, and I was right before I pulled in the clutch right before it locked itself up.
Really?
It went straight into first. All I did was slam it. It's Kawasaki transmission. All Kawasaki's have good transmission. Yep, I agree.
Interesting. How's the steering feel?
I don't know if it's because it's the front or the suspension. I can feel the suspension. It feels like there's nothing there. I can't really get a feel for the
It's
front.
just numb.
But I wonder, yeah. But the front it's just I didn't have any confidence in it. I didn't think it was gonna sit.
Whoa. Okay, so the handlebar immediately is hitting my knees. And this is... oh, it feels weird. Wow, the seating position is completely different. I don't like the way the front feels. Boy, the seat, I I don't like how the front feels at all. I don't like that at all. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Yeah, that sucks. I think it's stiff enough. Okay, I want to go change that. I can't live with that. Feels like it's way too tall. Of all things, how far can it be moved? About 10 millimeters looks like. Okay, time to go back out. What I did was forks, slid them up a bit. It felt horrible before. I'm hoping that gets this closer to being a fun to ride motorcycle, because that was not fun. So we'll see. This bike has narrow little tires. Clutch is too close to the handlebars. That's note number one. Yeah, that's way too close to the handlebars. Well, I don't feel like the fork is compressing for the amount of braking I'm doing. I actually think it needs less preload. The bike feels better now, but I also know that it won't feel good until you're going its pace, what the bike needs. So sometimes to make a bike feel better, you just have to go faster and have faith it's going to work. It either bites you or it doesn't. Wow, the clutch is all fucked up. It's coming all the way back to the bar. I need to go fix that. Shit. It's gonna be a whole day of doing like 2 laps, come in, go fix something, do 2 laps, go fix something else. Well, the bike is better. But I gotta go fix this clutch, because the screw is backing out is what's going on there. Yep. Oh, the nut fell off. That's what happened. On the Z after making changes to it. Jessie says the transmission is garbage. That's a bad sign. He said second gear seems to have problems. Not sure why. This is standard shift, not GP like everything else I've ridden. Oh wow, it is slipping. Yeah, the clutch is slipping. Maybe that clutch cable is too tight. Yeah, it turns so much better now. Night and day difference. So much better. Okay, that's got some slack in the cable, 100%. If the clutch is still slipping, it's not because the clutch cable is misadjusted. Okay, let's try this again. Boy, I hope that is what may have been causing the shifting problems. I still think the handlebar position is too close to my body. Yeah, I agree with Jessie. I don't feel confident in the grip from the front. Maybe that's just me. Don't know. Standard shift, not GP. Well, the muffler's on the right side, so that's only 2 bad corners out of the mix. And I shifted it the wrong way again. I'm gonna go crazy. Okay, I am going out on the Kawasaki. The verdict is the transmission's bad. The bike just feels kind of weird. The way you sit on the seat, it really puts you in one position. And that position's right up against the tank shroud. And the handlebars sort of have a supermoto in your lap kind of feel to it. So what Jessie and Euban were saying is downshifts. So I'm going into second gear here. This is where they're getting false neutrals. Again, I'm warming up tires. I need a couple laps. bike does not feel like a Grom. The seat feels very high up. Oh, there's that neutral. Yeah, okay, that's what they were talking about. I think it needs less preload in back. I'm slow. Hey guys, here's what I did to the Kawasaki. I put a new tire on the front. It's a soft compound, a race tire, Mitas. Anyway, that's done on the front. I need to safety wire the brake caliper bolts, and I'm moving on to the rear shock. I need to lower the preload adjustment as much as I can without it interfering with this bracket there. So I'm gonna unbolt the bottom of the shock there. I got it supported up on stands, and I'm gonna try to back that off so it's not as hard as a rock as it is today. That should largely wrap up things. I've got the shock back on after making some adjustments. Preload, I've backed it off a lot. It's not hitting the frame rail here anymore. What I discovered was the mounting. There was this spacer between the shock, and that was pushing it out against the passenger peg bracket. I've been able to back off the spacing here, and there's now a gap. So when the stretch and lowered kit was put on, maybe the spacer was a part of that. I'm not sure why it was included. Anyway, long story short, I have adjustment here where these could be run down further if I wanted to reduce the preload further. However, where it's at right here, if I back it off any further, there's a gap in the springs. That's as long as the spring is. So there is zero reason to back it off any further than that. That's essentially as light as I can make it for the bike. Find out on track next. What I have here is the stock foot pegs from the Z125, and you'll notice they are welded onto the bracket here. The change I am making is I mounted the other side up here. On the back side, I drilled a hole, not all the, just through the base plate. This one up here, all the way through. So the foot pegs on this side, and this one I drilled all the way through. The reason for doing this is I want to use generic foot pegs. So if these are damaged, etc., you take out a bolt on a new foot peg, and continue to race. So holes on this side. The next step is to take a grinder and cut off this weld so that this whole bracket that holds the stock foot pegs is removed. So there's a weld on the top, weld on the bottom. I'm going to grind those off, and then everything should come off the flat plate. The end goal is to have a flat plate with a hole in it that I can put a bolt through and bolt on foot pegs. The final result on the foot pegs, they're cobbled together, but I ground off the stock mounts. These are just aluminum pegs with a single bolt from the back. That's all there is, so repairs should be pretty straightforward if needed. unbolt the plate, unbolt the peg, put a new peg on. They are solid mounted, so they don't have any give. But that will give us some universality. We don't have to have actual Kawasaki parts to fix things.